that in my state we're going to give President Buhari 25% and 75% to PDP. And all the governors of Southeast agreed to this. If anybody said he didn't agree, it's not the truth. And I think about 2 governors came to that. I have no regrets because I made it very clear that my state we're going to give, and if every other state had given I know that Governor Wike did not pay APC here that time. He didn't give any at all. But we gave 25% to APC, and I have no regret. And I have no regret supporting President Buhari till the last day and even out of office. He has favored my state very greatly. He has shown me a lot of love. And so Governor Wike worked against P2B. No. We commend him for standing with P2B. In 2019, Governor Wike called, very few of us and said, look, let us support Secondus to be the national chairman of PDP. For me, it was an impossible task. But when he makes up his mind, he doesn't go back. And so he convinced all of us, and we all went to the field. And let me say that whatever we say here is the truth and nothing but the truth. There is no more elections. So even though we are classified as politicians, but when politicians are out of elections and they speak, you have to understand that they speak nothing but the truth. I'll be here for not less than 4 times to commission projects, to lay foundation for projects, and just now me, everyone who is in this country and is across party lines. So I thank you very, very much. But let me commend you very highly for your great success, very special success, in the just concluded elections. You did extremely very well, but I'm not, surprised at all. It was the former head of state that said, I speak the truth. I'm in church, I will not lie. I will not lie. You will win election anytime, any day in this state. That is the truth. When we talk about projects, talk about administration, I'm a fellow of the Nigeria Society of Engineers. I'm a fellow of technologists, in engineering. And I can tell you that this man has love for his people. One single man for more than 12 months, almost commissioning projects on a daily basis. And when you go around and you see the quality of the projects, I just told him, say, look, you're a very lucky man. Not only that you use expatriates, you also lose local people, but the project's quality, remain the same. And so I commend you very, very highly for having love for your people. And I said to you when we were passing through this route, go and check how many governors will be held the way you are being held just on the street, even after election. It shows that Rivers people are very appreciative people. It shows that Rivers people are very good people. They appreciate good things and they have love for you. So I congratulate you. It's not easy for a governor to be loved. Even 2 months to the end of the administration, they still love you, they still commend you. Congratulations so much. Let me correct the insinuations that, Governor Wike worked against P2B. No. We commend him for standing with P2B. In 2019, Governor Wike called, very few of us and said, look, let us support Secondus to be the national chairman of PDP. For me, it was an impossible task. But when he makes up his mind, he doesn't go back. And so he convinced all of us, and we all went to the field. But that singular meeting agreed that when the deputy governorship will be made, that the Southeast governors and leaders will be called for tete-a-tete. But unfortunately, the candidate of our party then did not consult. And so when he called Governor Wike, In their meeting, nobody from Southeast was called, and that was our quarrel. But Governor Wike was presented with a number of options, people that they had penciled down. And out of all of them, he chose, His Excellency P2B. And being very close to him, regarding the first meeting, we said, look, how come nobody from Southeast was, invited? And that was the point of our concern. But we all supported him in the choice of P2B. And we all worked for, Atiku and Peter. But let me say it boldly, that I made it very clear that in my state, we're going to give President Buhari 25% and 75% to PDP. And all the governors of Southeast agreed to this. If anybody said he didn't agree, it's not the truth. And I think about 2 governors came to that. I have no regrets because I made it very clear that my state were going to give, and if every other state had given I know that Governor Wike did not pay APC here that time. He didn't give any at all. But we gave 25% to APC, and I have no regret. And I have no regret supporting President Buhari till the last day and even out of office. He has favored my state very greatly. He has shown me a lot of love, and so I will continue to appreciate him. He will continue to be my father in office and out of office. And so, the last election, let me again and again congratulate the president-elect and the vice president-elect. And I will list, all the factors that contributed to this great success. And my advice is that the president-elect must look at these factors. And for those who are going into litigation, we are not against that, but there is a need to understand the mind of God. Asiwaju and Shetima's victory is beyond, what the ordinary eyes we see. I look at this as the act of God. First, look at the campaign of the G3 governors. The Cross Rivers, Zamfara, and Ebonyi. That's the stepping stone. Of course, Governor Wike fought us very, very badly. And when the APC people say, why are you supporting Wike? I said, what did you do when Wike removed me in the first court as governor of Ebonyi State? You want me to come and fight again? I choose my fight. I said, I will not fight the man again. But the truth is that if anybody thinks he can win Governor Wike in Rivers State, that is joke taken too far. And I'm very bold to say that. Just like what he has done here, what the modest achievement we did in Ebonyi, and you say that you can win me in Ebonyi. It's a joke taken so far. Our people want performance. If you have performed as a governor, they will stand with you. And so I commend the G3 governors. But I also thank God Almighty, who had earmarked that, Asiwaju and Shetima would win. And look at the process of God. Asiwaju was very courageous, and Shetima, and made themselves available. God, directly and indirectly, made Governor Wike very much available. And so there is no way PC can conclude about the success of the election without mentioning Governor Wike. And they will be asking, Asiwaju Shetima to please bring Governor Wike to the core administration of the federal government. He has a lot to offer. He has a lot to offer for the unity of the country. And it's not all about party now. It's about the unity of the country. It's about how to move this country forward. It's about how to reunite our people. And I'm very happy that Asiwaju is thinking in this direction. And I want to thank him. So thanking him for making himself available. A man was expecting to win jackpot in America, but bought no coupon. And one day he was praying. God said to him, do me a favor and go and buy a coupon. So Asiwaju and Shetima, they bought coupon and they made themselves available. And I thank Mr. President Buhari, who insisted that he had no candidate and that, whoever would win in our primary should. And that gave Asiwaju the lead. And I also thank the northern governors who insisted that power should move to the south in accordance with the agreement all the southern governors reached. in a Delta state, that power should shift from north to south. And that, I think that is what is fair. And I think that God is God of fairness, equity, and justice. And that's what God, was looking at. And that's what Wike and G5 governors, they were looking at, and are still looking at it, and they have supported that this power should be shifted to the south. Wike said something I won't forget. He said, for those who believe that some section of the country are not needed in terms of voting strength, yes, but you need them. You need peace. You need peace from them so that you can govern very well. And so this is very important, that all sections of this country must be integrated, must be listened to, must be, brought together so that we can have a very peaceful next administration. And I want to also thank very highly Governor, the suspended chairman of PDP. He did very well, because if he had accepted to resign, it would have been very difficult for the APC. So he's our man, and I commend him very, very, very well. I commend him very well. And I'm begging Wike, they should lift his suspension so that he can suspend many more of your leaders. We love what he has done, and so we commend him. And I think Asiwaju must know that it worked for him, and they must also integrate him in the next administration. And so all this set of people, Asiwaju Shetima must know that God turned their hands to work for him, to actualize the will of God, and to actualize unity, equity, and fairness. And we are very grateful to God for that. Let me comment Mr. Project. Sometimes people say, oh, he has done well in infrastructure. I ask them, what is more after infrastructure? Everything about administration is infrastructure. It's an infrastructure. You talk about this school. Without this infrastructure, with the people, when I saw the way this school was, just in the pictures, and I agree with Wike, we should have shown it electronically, I felt so terrible. I felt so terrible. And, the status of the project now is like, a university. And that is the quality that Governor Wike is known for. Don't take away, man's grace. Don't take away man's gift. Wike has done very well. You talk about, medical. Without infrastructure, equipment, buildings, roads, there will be no. So everything for me is infrastructure. People were packing out of this very highly populated, community until the road was done. And you see businesses everywhere. So for me, it is infrastructure. A man in India was asked what is the success of, India. He said, if you want to succeed, you have to build infrastructure. So for me, infrastructure is everything. It is from there you empower the people. Sharing money is not what we should embark on. We should teach the people how to work. We should teach our people to be hardworking, because an idle mind is devil's workshop. So I commend you. This is quality project. And all your projects, they reflect you. They reflect your opinion. They reflect your love for the people. It's not easy after, how many people are still doing projects after the elections? So it shows that your projects are not about elections. They're about putting the people first. They're about having the fear of God. And I want to commend you very, very highly. People say, you and we quarreled in principle, because my closest brother and friend, we were very close and people were not happy. When we started quarreling, people were happy. Now we are even much closer now. They are not happy. And so, Governor, you must know that we have to be much, much more closer. He didn't want me to leave PDP. And that's a fact. There's nothing else, But the truth is that, he acknowledged that we have done well within the limit of our resources. And I've acknowledged, his indisputable personality and performance, in Rivers and beyond. And so I want to commend you, and I want to commend you. And I want to assure Rivers people that his heartbeat is to continue and possibly to come from commissioning of project on 29th of May to going to handover. And I thank God for, bringing to power, your choice of successor, whom you have groomed for a very long time. So congratulations. You can see that God is with you. You can see that you have grace.